Hey everyone, I am going to need to yet again clean up the garden. If you're noticing a trend, it's because there's always something to do in the garden like this. So I have my handy dandy bucket, and I might actually end up doing a little bit of a haul on tomatoes too, because it looks like something came through, or these got too big for their own britches and have toppled over. So we're gonna maybe clean some of that up. Let's see if that works. I don't know. But yeah, today is going to be a cleanup video, and we're going to try and get this garden back to where it once was, of course, with the supervision of Chomper. All right, let's get started. I think my first step, I was going to go in and start pruning, but I think my first step is actually going to be to harvest what I can of the tomatoes. And look, our first Roma, even though it looks like maybe it has some stink bugs. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I think my first step is actually going to be to harvest what tomatoes I can first, and then come through and prune them and get them sorted the right way. Okay, so mini haul done. I just used one of my plant containers because they're gonna get washed anyway, so it's fine if they have some dirt on them. And this is the Black Beauty, or one of them, and it's starting to ripe, blush, so I'm just gonna let it finish on the counter. And on to what we originally wanted to do, which was clean up this tomato mess. Deer or something have definitely come through here, because if I'm looking at my volunteers, there's an entire section gone. They destroyed this top, so, and my strawberries again. I feel like it's the third time they've attacked them. So I'm gonna try and come through and clean this out, get anything that is dead. And a lot of this is not going into my compost because I'm definitely seeing blight and diseased plants. It is something that stays in the soil, so I'm gonna have to also rotate out my crops next year and try and treat this. But let's start cleaning. Let's see how much of this bucket we can fill. So what I'm looking to clean up is I'm being really aggressive. Anything that isn't producing fruit, or, sorry, this is kind of hard to do one-handed, supporting the plant in some way is gonna get snipped. Normally I wouldn't do this, but the reason we are doing it this late, we are at the end of the season. I want any energy left in these plants to go into the fruit that has already been produced, rather than making new flowers, things like that. I'd rather the energy go into ripening the fruit that is already on here, since we are end of season for the tomatoes. Like I said, something like this guy here, there's no additional flowers. I just picked the last fruit. It's actually an arm from this main, like a sucker. I probably should have pruned it initially, but we're here now, so we're just gonna cut it pretty close to the base. All of this in the compost. And then something that's completely dead from start to end, or isn't producing at all. So like this one is very clearly dead. So if I follow it all the way down, I'm just gonna snip at the base, and I'm not ripping it. Oh, this one was a lot harder to do, but I'm taking it from the base and I'm not ripping it up, so that those dead roots can decompose back into the soil. We're just gonna keep going. All right, that bucket is full, so I'm gonna say that's about it for the tomatoes. Let me take a step back so you guys can really see how much is gone. A little emotional, not gonna lie. I know, and you know, and we all know that gardening is a cycle, right? You grow, produce, and then it has to die back. But these tomatoes, I think, were my pride and joy this year. I got so much from the garden, and I'm so thankful. I got such a variety. I got new experiences, and it's just coming to an end. So thanks everyone for coming along as we cleaned up some of the tomatoes and mourn a little bit for this chapter in the garden, but that's okay. We're going to start a new chapter with our fall garden, and give the tomatoes a much needed rest. So thanks everyone for following along, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.